Hello there. I want to talk about working in a call center because, believe it or not, that's where I worked about a year and a half ago. First job I had ever. So I was at the job center. They were like, "Hey, this is a call center job. So if you're not really into the whole like face to face talking to people, because that's what I thought I wasn't. I thought I wasn't into that. So I was like, cool. Yeah, I'll go for that. Of course, I went to the interview. It was a 2 hour long interview. It was quite an interview actually. They tested us and stuff. Gave us like a test to see where we'd be, and then we got the next 2 days later I think I got a call saying I got the job, and I was like, you can start on Monday or whatever it was, and I was like, oh, cool. And obviously one of the draws for this job was that it pays weekly. Now full time paying weekly for an 18-year-old who should technically still be in school. That was big. I was getting some money, dude. I was getting money in. I was really happy. I was really happy for about 2 weeks. And then that's when the training ended and I got on the phones. Once you get on the phones, it's like, I don't want to be here, because I should have thought this to myself before I went for the job. I thought to myself, I don't like being face to face. I'd much rather talk to people on the phone. But then I didn't think about the previous 15 years of my life where every time someone would call, I would be way too scared to answer it. So every time a phone call came through, I'd get like a rush. I'd be like, I don't want to answer this. Like I actually like fear, you know? And then being in a job where that is your job, you have to do that 9 hours a day, do 5 to 7 days a week. I was not happy with that. So it really didn't take long for me to think, I really don't want to be here. I ended up being there for 2 months. I was trying to do anything I could to get off the phones, but it was a call center. That's all there was. The only other thing would be like a supervisor position, and I'd need to be there for a lot longer in order to get to a supervisor position. And I was not going to do that. So I just dealt with it for a little bit of time, and then after a certain point, it was just too much for me. I was like, I can't do this anymore. And then I quit that day, which was cool because usually they're like, you need a week's notice, but I didn't need that, because what would be the point of them keeping me there for a week if I literally couldn't answer the phones? Because on my last day, I could not answer the phone. I was sitting there for 2 hours waiting for my manager to come in, and I answered one call. It lasted 45 minutes, and I was like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I was a mess that day. And I'll tell you, I'm really happy that I quit the job, because call center jobs are awful. Like, they're literally like probably some of the worst jobs out there, just in terms of like mental, state. Because maybe like a third of people who go through a call center job can actually stay there, like a third. Because the team that I joined when I got in there, when they started 6 months earlier, there were 22 of them. And when we joined, there were 7. We joined as another 15. Before me, I think 3 others had quit. And it was like, I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it anymore. And that's the thing is that... So let's give a background of what this call center was. This call center was outsourced. So there was a big British shop chain thing. They have certain stores around. It's not that huge, but it is. They make lots of money. A guy's name is the store name. It's quite expensive. It's usually the audience is a bunch of old retirees, usually the ones who have money, because they can just go in there and just drop a few £100 on a light fitting or something like that. So we had to deal with a lot of elderly people on the phone, and God, it's just annoying because of how like entitled some of them can be. Like sometimes they'll call you up and they'll be like, I want you to deal with this now, and they'll hang up. And the thing is about the call center there is that you can't deal with a case when you're not on the phone, because as soon as that call ends, you got to get in the queue and answer another phone call. So if you called me and were like, I need you to fix this, but I can't be on the phone right now, I would have to be like, I can't, I'm sorry. I can't do that unless you're on the phone with me. Of course, you can call back later when you got time. You know, we close at 9 p.m. So if you want to call back, and we can deal with it then when you've actually got time. But a lot of them are like, nah. They'll just hang up on you and get angry when you're trying to say that. And it's like, why are you getting angry at me? There's no need for you to get angry at me. I am just trying to do my job here. Yes. If you got that much of an issue, please just go back to the store. Oh, let me tell you about this one story that I had. This is probably the only time where I actually laughed when when the call hung up. But it was not in a good laugh, you know. It was a laugh of I think this is gonna be the last few days I'm gonna be here, you know. I got a call. Some woman came out of a London branch of the store, which actually goes by a different name, but it's the same shop, but it's just with a different name for some reason. And she came out with an oil heater, if I remember correctly, and she told me it doesn't turn on. And I was like, okay. It happened that with this particular company, we didn't have the ability to go through what was wrong with her because she was out at the time. And I told her if you still got the receipt, you go back to the store and they'll have a look at it. And she was like, I don't have the receipt. It's like, why don't you have the receipt? You need the receipt if you're gonna. And she's like, but I threw the receipt away. It's like, that's literally my reaction. I just sunk into my chair and just sighed. I was like, we can't do anything if you don't have a receipt. And then she started getting angry at me because she was like, but what if they don't have a receipt? You have to have something if they don't have a receipt. And I was like, I don't. I'm sorry, if you don't have a receipt, we can't help you. I just wanted to add something here. This lady who called me, you know, she actively threw the receipt away, which is not what you want to do when you're trying to deal with a company on the phone. And then so what she wanted, she thought that, I'm trying to remember this properly, but she thought that it was a common occurrence that people threw their receipts away. And so she just took for granted that we're going to have a way to deal with things if she didn't have a receipt, because she just thought everyone throws their receipts away. And I don't know why she thought that. Maybe because she wasn't a native to Britain. Maybe that was why she thought that. Maybe they've got different ways of doing it wherever she came from. I'm assuming it was France. Maybe they've just got a different way of doing things there. They don't need receipts, but you know, here you definitely need a receipt if you're doing stuff. So just a tip: if you're dealing with a product and you need to call someone to get it fixed, or you need to go into the store, please keep the receipt, because if you throw the receipt away, there is no proof that you've bought the product from the store, and they can't help you. All right. She threw the receipt away, thinking that we had a way to deal with the issue, but we didn't have a way to deal with the issue. So yeah, just don't throw the receipts away. Keep your receipt, and then when they ask you, do you have your receipt? Be like, yes, I do have my receipt, and then you can give them the information from the receipt. Then life is better. But she didn't have that because she's a moron. And she just thought everyone throws their receipts away, so why should I bother to keep mine? Oh, why should I keep all my receipts? You know how many receipts I'm going to have if I keep all my receipts? Do I care? It's not my problem. It's not my problem if you don't want to keep your receipts. It's not my problem. You can't complain if you don't want to keep your receipt. You can't do it. You can't yell at me for that. Okay, I'm getting riled up. All right, time for the rest of the video. Thanks. And I was like, if you want to call the company in particular, then I can give you their number. She's like, I could find their number. I'm not stupid, and hung up the phone. And I was like, oh my God. Some people, oh my God. And it's like, is it not common sense to, you know, have a receipt when you call in about a product that you buy? Like, I don't know if you bought it, because you bought it in store. I don't have it on any system that you bought it. I don't know that you bought this from our store. What am I meant to do? How am I meant to prove that you bought it through us? You could have bought it off eBay and then been like, yeah, I bought it through your store. Can you replace it? And if we had to not have a receipt, we'd be like, yeah, sure. We'd replace it and then she'd just steal it. We don't know. Like, I had someone who, it wasn't a call that I had to deal with because it was, I think someone bought a washing machine or something, but they bought it through eBay. Then it had an error with, like, it was, buggered a bit. And then he called us and was like, "Can you guys help me?" And then it turns out that obviously because he bought it on eBay and didn't buy it through a store, he'd need to get the person who bought it through the store to deal with it, which means he'd have to get in contact with the seller. And, naturally he wasn't too happy with that. But I don't know why you thought you could go through the store if you bought it on eBay. You didn't buy it through us. You didn't give us the money for us to deal with your thing. But, yeah, God. Yeah, if anyone can help it, please just don't work in a call center. It really is not worth the hassle. It's not worth the declining your mental health. It's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. It just isn't worth it. So that's my my advice to you. Please don't work in a call center because you will regret it. Cool. All right, I'm off. This came out a bit longer than I thought, but I got links to everything I do below. Please click on them. Consider anything you look at. I don't know, but thank you for listening. Don't work in a call center. Goodbye.